Omnichannel strategy. It's a big concept. A concept that encompasses the interconnection of systems, eliminating silos of information, and unifying the data from all channels in order to provide an optimal customer experience. Behind this concept are companies striving to know their customers better and to improve the overall relationship with those customers. An omnichannel strategy is key for health and pharma companies, and Grünenthal recognized this fact early on. The true challenge with omnichannel strategy is making it real, or rather, turning the theory into reality by establishing concrete goals and creating a realistic plan of action for implementation and business as usual. Every interaction is a possibility to build trust with your customers. And over the last few years, Grünenthal has excelled at providing a complete, interconnected HCP experience through launching true omnichannel campaigns while ensuring that they are GDPR compliant by obtaining express HCP consent. From Grünenthal's perspective, an HCP nowadays can interact with the company not only with face-to-face visits, but also through newsletters, educational webinars, filling in feedback surveys, and visiting websites. All of this can be combined coherently in the same Salesforce Marketing Cloud campaign, allowing Grünenthal to learn from the HCP's preferences with every interaction. Grünenthal has managed to promote and sustain this digital shift towards an omnichannel way of working within 25 countries, and has tripled campaign launches in just 1 year. These campaigns range from information about established brands, to new product launches, to information about upcoming events. They have had over 40,000 personalized interactions with HCPs in the last year. An impressive fact, and more than triple the productivity when compared to the previous year. At this point, you're probably wondering if all of this can be achieved internally. And truthfully, that depends on your resources and needs. Grünenthal opted to search for a trusted external partner, like ShowerThinking, to help guide them through the digital transformation and omnichannel strategy implementation process. Some years ago, an important ambition was born at Grünenthal, an ambition to transform challenge into opportunity. And today, Grünenthal has become a pioneer and leader in successfully implementing an omnichannel strategy and improving their relationship with HCPs. Now let's dive in and take a deeper look at making omnichannel real with Florent Edouard from Grünenthal.
Welcome back to Next Normal, and we are having a very special fireside chat / case study on the case of Grünenthal, or to be more specific, the Grünenthal case study, making omnichannel real. Pleased to welcome today, actually already yesterday we had you, Florent Edouard from Grünenthal. Once again, hi, how are you?
I'm good, perfect.
Fantastic. You delivered a great talk, so expectations are again very high.
Thanks a lot.
No pressure. And Joaquin Pais, the CEO from ShowerThinking. Hi, Joaquin. Same question to you. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you very much, Dario. I expect to be at the level for Florian, so it's very high and expect to be there.
Fantastic. So let's deep dive into this interesting case study. Very curious to see how you can make omnichannel real, because we hear a lot of theory, a lot of talks, but not so many real cases. And as far as I understood, you prepared a very interesting video, Joaquin. So please share this and kick off the stage with that.
Okay, sure. Dario, you could help me on sharing the video. I think that is on the button below.
Yes. So it's the right to the microphone. You have to click on the button right to the microphone, and then you're able to share the video. Fantastic. You can see your screen and you can put play.
Omnichannel strategy. It's a big concept. A concept that encompasses the interconnection of systems, eliminating silos of information, and unifying the data from all channels in order to provide an optimal customer experience. Behind this concept are companies striving to know their customers better and to improve the overall relationship with those customers. An omnichannel strategy is key for health and pharma companies, and Grünenthal recognized this fact early on. The true challenge with omnichannel strategy is making it real, or rather, turning the theory into reality by establishing concrete goals and creating a realistic plan of action for implementation and business as usual. Every interaction is a possibility to build trust with your customers. And over the last few years, Grünenthal has excelled at providing a complete, interconnected HCP experience through launching true omnichannel campaigns while ensuring that they are GDPR compliant by obtaining express HCP consent. From Grünenthal's perspective, an HCP nowadays can interact with the company not only with face-to-face visits, but also through newsletters, educational webinars, filling in feedback surveys, and visiting websites. All of this can be combined coherently in the same Salesforce Marketing Cloud campaign, allowing Grünenthal to learn from the HCP's preferences with every interaction. Grünenthal has managed to promote and sustain this digital shift towards an omnichannel way of working within 25 countries, and has tripled campaign launches in just 1 year. These campaigns range from information about established brands, to new product launches, to information about upcoming events. They have had over 40,000 personalized interactions with HCPs in the last year. An impressive fact, and more than triple the productivity when compared to the previous year. At this point, you're probably wondering if all of this can be achieved internally. And truthfully, that depends on your resources and needs. Grünenthal opted to search for a trusted external partner, like ShowerThinking, to help guide them through the digital transformation and omnichannel strategy implementation process. Some years ago, an important ambition was born at Grünenthal, an ambition to transform challenge into opportunity. And today, Grünenthal has become a pioneer and leader in successfully implementing an omnichannel strategy and improving their relationship with HCPs. Now let's dive in and take a deeper look at making omnichannel real with Florent Edouard from Grünenthal.
Thanks a lot, Joaquin, for this interesting video. So let's make omnichannel and our discussion real. And the first question would be to you, Florent, which is how and when did you realize that Grünenthal had to adopt and transform to this new omnichannel strategy?
So I joined Grünenthal at the end of 2017, and there had been a major reorganization of the company at the time. And one of the first things I realized when I joined Grünenthal early 18 was that we didn't talk a lot to our customers and we didn't listen enough to our customers. So that generated the first wave of, okay, we need to work on how we create customer insights, how we articulate the voice of the customer, how we understand what they want. And rapidly, we realized that they wanted to be engaged in different ways, that they didn't want to have the standard detailed carried by a sales rep with a marketing message, but that they had requests, they had places, channels, things that they wanted to see, content that they were interested in and stuff like that. And that's what we needed to offer. So that's when we thought, okay, we need to prepare the ground to be able to go omnichannel and deliver to them what they want, where they want to consume it, under the format they want to consume it. That was, I think, really the first realization of that was very simple. Just to give you one tiny business example, was talking about a product, and the team that was in charge of that product at that time was saying it's a problem. The only problem with that product is the nurses. they don't know how to use it, and they are not happy with it. And in fact, that wasn't true. And as soon as we started to ask the customers, how can we improve your life with this product, they gave us plenty of ideas and plenty of stuff that actually they were doing and that we could provide them as additional value to their way of working. So I think listening to the customer was what triggered the transformation.
Fantastic, thank you, Florian. Joaquin, would you like to add anything on this very interesting intro and comment from Florian?
Well, my experience comes from, I think it was starting 2020 when we engaged with the team of Florian, and we started to understand which were the needs. So I need to say that from the very beginning, it was really very interesting to work with the team of Florian. Really, a team very open to anything new, to the technology and all the challenges that we were presenting there.
Thanks a lot. Next question. Again, we can start with you, Florian. What steps did you have to take to initiate the transformation? And I know you for a while, and I can tell you, you didn't start the transformation 24 months ago. You started it much before that. So
yeah, so we took different steps. The first one was create a case for change. I think understand where we were in terms of technology, in terms of digital capabilities, in terms of culture in the company, showing that to everyone, so that the board, the CEO, the chief commercial officer realized that there was an opportunity here to improve what we do for the patients, what we do for the HCPs, for the whole community, and also for the company. And then creating teams of people that were not afraid to try new things, to funnel on a small subset of partners. Like, we want to work with innovative, open-minded partners on that journey, instead of having a long list of 20,000 vendors that are just delivering services. And so we changed a lot the culture of the company. We changed a lot the way of working. We were not afraid to open all the boxes and everything, to be able to make space for the new way of working. That was really important. But one key element was for us to fix the technology, to make sure that we were using industry standard platforms of high quality and not home-built, gardened technical solutions that were not sustainable. That was really important for us.
Thanks a lot.
On that journey that we met Joachim and his team, and who are even better at doing Omnichannel than at doing videos. Though the video was quite nice.
Thanks. Joaquin, question to you. I suppose the demand in the last 24 months is extraordinary, right? To implement real omnichannel cases, right?
Yes, that's correct. My experience, and this is something that I would like to share with anyone, is that probably the main challenge here is not the technology. Also, is the same experience that we have in other customers. So the technology is there. There are some de facto standards in the industry, like Salesforce, like Marketing Cloud, but could be others. This is not the problem, the technology. The problem for me is the fact that the pharma and health industry is as such very fast pace in terms of digital that only 6 years ago, in my professional experience, I wouldn't expect that we are at this level of interaction. We are going very quick, or we are trying to copy the situation for other sectors like travel, like fast-moving consumer groups or others, and we are trying to copy this kind of interactions, but with the specifics of the health and pharma. So having said that, probably for me, one of the main points that we have learned during the last years is that here in pharma, these multi-channel managers are not only, or will not be, a one-man show. We need to be a complete team, as said Florian, from the customer, probably from some partners, because having all this knowledge together is very difficult. You need to have a very high expertise in different clouds, in different channels, in the understanding the customer. So this is really what is changing, from one more, let's say, more simple multi-channel manager or digital marketing, whatever you call it in your company, to a more complex team that can provide these real customer experiences.
Thanks a lot. By the way, I remember Foran mentioned a couple of months ago that it's not about hiring the chief experience officer, but rather to live it within the whole organization, right? And this is, I think, where actually many companies are failing. Which leads me to the next question, which is how do you manage the impact to sustain the cultural shift on a global and local level? Foran, maybe you can.
Yeah, no, you're very right mentioning that chief something officer, because the strategy of hiring a chief something officer is that this guy is then in charge of the something. So if he's a digital officer, he's going to be in charge of digital. And then everyone is, okay, that's his job, that's not my job, I'm not going to do it, right? And that's nice for the spreadsheet and the press release, but that's not efficient in terms of company and culture transformation, because becoming customer-centric needs to be the work of everyone, internally and externally. And then that's where you hit a second wall. The second wall is the culture in pharma. I don't know for consumer goods, so maybe Joaquin can comment on that, but in pharma, in marketing, marketers don't want to dirty their hands with systems. So you need people that are going to do the job for them. They will think, they will say, this is what I want, and then we will have Joaquin and his team running and typing and doing all the magic behind the scenes. So the system is working. So that's really important. Then, if you want it to become global, you need to embark the countries from day one. If you do a pilot very short, 3 months, something like that. And then tell everyone you have to do one campaign. So the approach we said was, for the next 6 months, all the countries will deliver 1 or 2 omnichannel campaigns. These are the platforms, those are the contents. This is, how you do it, and we're going to bring you, and we're going to train you, and we're going to help you and support you to make sure that everyone gets a flavor of it, understand what it is. Because if you start to go country by country, then after 2 years, you have finished your world tour and you have to start all over again. And that doesn't account for pandemics, wars, and stuff like that can disrupt your plan. So I would really encourage to bring the countries and the local doers who know the business and who talk to the customer and who create the customer experience rapidly on board.
Fully agree, Foran. Joaquin, is this maybe because you can compare pharma with some other sectors and industries? Is this maybe because pharma is having unrealistic expectations of how omnichannel should look like, how omnichannel should be implemented, or is the reason somewhere else?
No, from my view is coming from the fact that traditionally the Salesforce, so the offline channel was the most important, and you can trust that everything you can deal with this offline. So suddenly, in just 2 years, you need to change and shift, gears completely through a complete digital stuff. And I will explain again the same concept, but I think it's useful for everyone. From people being used to deliver more basic campaigns, now they need to provide a fully operational model, and even in the case for Grünenthal, in even 24 countries. So this is a major shift. You need to create this, we call it this campaign operational model. That's something that we are proud, because we have built together with Grünenthal this new model for operating these customer journeys in a scalable way. That this is really, I think, from my experience, is one of the difference here from Grünenthal, because many companies, as Florence said before, they are working on a pilot by pilot basis, and everyone knows the theory, theory, but now the practice really to implement in this kind of projects in so many countries. This is something that this company, I think, that can be very proud of.
Thanks a lot. Speaking about 20 plus countries, Florian, what has been the number one challenge you faced when rolling out the new way of working in those particular 20 and something countries?
So I could say COVID, because that's exactly when we were doing it, but that would be a bit tarte à la crème. No, I think we faced many challenges. The number one challenge for me is really a change in leadership approach, how to create a psychologically safe place for the people to innovate, to make mistakes, and still get up again and redo it. You know, for example, I would say, you usually hear leaders saying, oh, we need to recognize and reward failure. Well, I would like to know when was the last time they did it. I mean, we had calls where in between leaders, we would disagree. And that was frightening for our teams, because they are not used to see senior people disagreeing publicly on a call. And that's a culture that we want, because if that stays behind the scenes, then it doesn't help anyone. It becomes very political. We need to help people learn from their failure. And I think we need also to teach everyone to talk the language of the people you are talking to, which means being customer centric. If you talk to a CFO, you need to talk finance. Don't talk, satisfaction of the patients and whatever. Even if they are nice people, they are CFOs and they want to hear financial numbers. If you talk to a scientist, talk science. Don't talk market share, because it doesn't help. And when you do omnichannel, then you have to learn all those languages to explain what you do, to explain to everyone which role they play into it. And that's an immense work, because it's not technology. Technology is, I would say, relatively simple. It's computers, 0 and 1s. There you are working on human material, and that takes more time and it's more complicated. So that's for me really the human challenge was the biggest one.
Absolutely, fully agree. We received an interesting question from the audience, which is, what would you say are the best channels to reach HCPs? I would say a quite generic question, but let's try to answer on that.
Ask the customers. I mean, it's gonna be different for every single customer. The first thing is to ask them, which channel do you want to be interacted on? The second one is to find a way to find out where they actually are. If I base it on my whole experience of being in Japan, for instance, where you got a gigantic web platform where and a physician community where all the physicians are. It's their Google page. I would say this is a beautiful place to interact with customers, because they know exactly what they will get, and it's very controlled, and it's all the industry is there. That's very nice. But some of them just want to have emails. We have physicians asking us, I want to be interacted on WhatsApp and WhatsApp only. And you need to offer that possibility. It's the same way you offer the consent. You should offer the consent to opt in or out for a very granular level of things. For the platforms, we should be able to offer the same thing.
So there is no right answer, but there is the right answer for the right person in the right moment, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I would like to add also something, because this kind of question, I see that comes something from the traditional view of pharma, that now digital is another channel. I would say that the channel is not a digital one and new, but a combination for the existing interactions that you have with your sales reps. So the best channel probably will be some rep interaction together with some digital interaction, real and omnichannel one. And this is the different. There's no right channel, but a right approach, for taking different channels, whatever the customer prefers. It's more or less the same response as Florian from a different view.
Fully agree, but this leads me again that maybe the expectations are also wrong. I mean, we all the time just speak about digital, everything has to be digital and so on. I mean, okay, like Florian said, technology is simple. And of course, it's not only to be on the digital side, it's, I would say, a mix of different channels. And at the end of the day, simply ask the customer. Maybe someone still prefers face-to-face or a simple phone call, right?
But I would like to rebound on one of the questions around the consent in the chat, because I think that's a critical, very, very important question. We need absolutely, in a GDPR world, to be totally transparent on what we are going to do with the data of the customers, why we want to collect that data. And we have all the reasons to do so, because if you think about it, if your objective is to improve customer experience, it's easy for an HCP to understand that you are collecting this and that data to tailor your communication to his request, his requirement, his preference. And no human in his sane mind would prefer to be spammed every morning by random emails from a company where you have just given a broad consent, a very general one. So we are going to monitor, I don't have the answer, but we are going to monitor our consent rate, on the various axes, whether it is market research, it is marketing, it is information, medical, education, and stuff like that. We are going to monitor the evolution. But I fundamentally believe that if you are relevant and of good quality in every single communication, the physician will not opt out and will not retract the consent. If you come at the wrong time or with the wrong content, the consent will be gone and you'll be toast, because the only way to interact with them will be to send again someone to them.
Fully agree. The next question, which I would ask Joaquin, I think it's a very interesting one, is are you able to prepare so many detailed materials to be personalized to so many different clients? And are you able to have so many people to prove these materials to be compatible with pharmaceutical law? I think a quite interesting question.
And a difficult one. And the way we approach it is because we have created this campaign operational model, which is per country. We work together with this country in order to better segment and to choose which are the goals. So it's something, sometimes I hear this concern, okay, you need to personalize a lot. But my question is, for what we need to personalize a lot? So you need really to create a journey. For example, let's make this example with some goals. On depending on some goals, you go backwards and you decide, okay, these are my most appropriate segments, and this is the content that I need to create. And this is something that, at least here at Grünenthal, what we try is to escalate to a global level from the best experiences that we have in every country. So I hope that this responds to the question from
my answer, Dario, my answer will be shorter. We make Joachim and his team work 24/7. That's how we do it.
That's good. That's good. Which leads me to another very interesting question. Samir asked, does Omnichannel mean higher investment?
Does Omnichannel means?
Higher investment.
Higher investment? No, well, so the cost of an email, whether you send it to one person or to 50,000 persons, is more or less the same. The cost of a sales rep, the cost of a clinical study, the cost of all that is far higher. And when you think about it, ultimately, what matters is the customer experience. We have the proof. I mean, McKinsey said, I shouldn't say we have the proof, but McKinsey demonstrated that higher customer experience rating leads to increased earning per share. There is no stronger point to build your business case for omnichannel experience, because a good omnichannel, well delivered, increased customer experience increases profits and earning per share. So in this case, it's just a question of shifting investment from stuff that are very siloed and very, sometimes even conflictual between brands, to something that is integrated around how to deliver the best customer experience. So we didn't see an increase in cost, but we clearly saw a better use of the money, because every time we spend €1, we think, is it the right thing to do from a customer experience standpoint?
Yeah, fully agree. Makes perfect sense. My last question, since we are left with 3 minutes, is what has been actually your biggest and most important lesson you learned so far in this whole digital transformation journey? Maybe Florian, you can speak from the pharma side, and Joaquin maybe from comparing different pharma companies.
So on the pharma side, for me, it's that there is hope. There is hope to come to better terms with our customers, and that we deliver services that they appreciate, and that they send you spontaneously positive feedback. When we are in that space, in a consistent way across the globe. We will exit the box where we are with the drug dealers and the weapon manufacturer and stuff like that at the most 80 industry to become a real healthcare partner, which is what we want to be. So I think there is hope. I believe in the humans.
That's always good to hear that there is hope. So, Joaquin?
Well, for me, one of my what we have experienced during this project is that for us is even more important to mix together the technology has its importance, but not so many, but with the marketing side. So it's also the vision from our company, and these kind of problems are not going to be solved by IT or technology, but they are going to be solved together with business. And I think that the approach that we see here working together between the best resources that you can get in the market is a very good approach, honestly.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot. Really enjoyed this fireside chat / case study. It was a great chat, and we will publish this interview on our YouTube channel. Take very good care and have a nice rest of the day.
Thank you. Good evening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.